Man, so we've been talking for a while about, Momoshiki's resurrection, and for a long time now, this past year, we've been talking about these pills, and we thought that originally that these pills were sort of working for stopping Momoshiki's resurrection, and even the anime sort of backed it up with proof that, hey, it seems like this is kind of, pausing the karma progression. But man, after Boruto chapter 65, the presence of Momoshiki is just too much, because Momoshiki said, nah, forget all that business. I'm just gonna go ahead and just act like these pills don't even exist, and I'm taking over your body right now, and I'm causing havoc. So man, it seems like Momoshiki's resurrection cannot be stopped, because even these pills don't really seem to be working right. I'm not really sure if, just because it's slowing down the karma progression doesn't mean it's slowing down Momoshiki's chokehold on Boruto exactly. But man, it seems like that Momoshiki is still a major threat and is going to be haunting Boruto for a long time if he doesn't come up with a solution. And these pills seem like a good solution, right? But I was originally talking about how these pills don't really seem like they would really benefit Boruto in this case, because there could be some negative side effects from it that we haven't really delved into yet and we don't really know. But remember, these pills were made to weaken Ashiki Otsutsuki. These pills were not originally made to like weaken the karma cell progression or anything like that. They were originally made to weaken Ashiki because Amada was planning to overthrow Car Organization and overthrow, Jigen/Ashiki. So I think you have to remember that these pills were not originally meant for what they're being used for right now, and that they were kind of a little bit too convenient for Amado. I have a little bit of suspicion that Amado might not be telling the truth about these pills exactly. But man, Boruto was just easily, able to be taken over, and one of Boruto's fears right now is that he'll be taken over by Momoshiki and he'll end up hurting people that he cares about. And it seems like that's going to happen quite frequently if Boruto continues to go on these missions. Boruto continues to fight and defend the village, and it's going to continue happening that Momoshiki will take over his body and cause havoc. Now, it kind of seems like Momoshiki doesn't really care for most interactions, that involves Boruto. And it seems like it only takes over Boruto's body whenever Boruto's in danger, because he can't have his vessel, being hurt. If Boruto kind of dies before Momoshiki is able to finish up the karma progression, then this kind of was all for nothing, and Momoshiki won't be able to resurrect and, complete his plan. But, that's kind of why I think that Momoshiki keeps coming out at these situations to where Boruto's in, danger and is in danger of possibly dying or just being injured or something like that. Because if you remember when Momoshiki first appeared, it was because Bora was literally about to wipe out Team 7. He was going on a rampage, and then boom, Momoshiki takes over Boruto's body. So same thing here. Ko was fighting Boruto, and all of a sudden Momoshiki was like, hey, I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to kind of just take out this Ko guy and wipe him out now, because he's kind of in the way of my plans. So not only does he come out when Boruto's in danger, but he sort of comes out whenever he needs to like fill his own goals and get things done that he's kind of trying to accomplish. So Momoshiki works in self-interest. I know a lot of people want Momoshiki to be a Kirama part 2, but it's not happening. This man is a homicidal alien trying to destroy the planet and keep it pushing. Okay, he does not care about Boruto's well-being. He's literally just trying to get this damn fruit and dip. Like, that's all he's trying to do. He's just trying to like take this fruit, cultivate the divine tree or whatever, and he's just trying to dip. And I kind of respect that though a little bit. But hey, he's not really trying to mingle amongst the commoners and hang out with Boruto and be best friends. He's literally just there to do what Otsutsukis do best, and that's to conquer planets. So that's kind of why he just keeps on trying to preserve Boruto's body and make sure that he does not die, because it's very important that the karma seal progresses to 100% for the vessel. That way the Otsutsuki can resurrect. So there's also other things to where, Boroshiki's here now. And remember that originally, the second time that Boroshiki came out during the Ashiki arc, after they defeated Ashiki, that absorbing a little bit of chakra allowed Boruto to regain control of his body. And I think just for a bit that he actually absorbed a bit of Shikamaru's chakra during this fight, and that might actually be the key for Boruto to regain a little bit of control over his body again. But right now it seems that even though Boroshiki is sort of expending all this chakra, throwing all these Rasengans and all this sort of business, that Boruto doesn't really seem like he's going to get back in control of his body again. It's a very interesting situation to where Momoshiki might have even more of a hold over Boruto now than he did previously. And I think that might be something with the pills, but I'm just not exactly sure. But yeah, I would have thought that Momoshiki would have at least noticed that Boruto was trying to regain control of his body again, but it seems like Boruto's having a hard time even doing this right now. And I think this is going to be a major factor for why Boruto might have to look for other options, and that might have to be Boruto going rogue and doing some sort of self-discovery journey to where he's gonna have to figure out how to, make sure Momoshiki doesn't take over his body, because he's tried lots of options and it doesn't seem like anything's really working for him right now. And I kind of want to go back to the idea of hey, just put this karma seal on Code and just resurrect his body, right? That's kind of what I think is the best situation to do. And that's just a dumb thing that Kawaki came up with, and I kind of made like 3 videos on it, but hey, I kind of like the idea, because what else is Boruto going to do? He cannot stop Momoshiki's resurrection. This whole karma seal progression is a new thing for us, and no one really knows what it is. I've recommended plenty of times that they should probably just talk to Orochimaru and sort of get his insight on it, because they should kind of be utilizing all the resources that they have in the village, but they haven't really done that yet. Maybe they'll do in the future, but as for right now, Boruto's out of options and he cannot stop Momoshiki's resurrection. So he's at 80% karma seal progression and he needs a solution now. And I honestly feel like leaving the village is one of the only ways that he can solve this problem temporarily, because like I said before, it seems like whenever Momoshiki takes over Boruto's body, it's to either make sure Boruto doesn't die or to further achieve his goals. And he even said that Naruto was kind of like irritating him and whatnot, and that he could have took him out right now. And I think that if Boruto stays in the village, and then hey, Naruto's sleeping one night, Momoshiki could take over Boruto's body and try to kill Naruto or whoever else, because as of now, these pills don't seem to be working, and if Momoshiki can just take over his body anytime, Boruto is going to be such a danger to the village that he really just can't be around right now. And the other 5 Kages are not going to be happy with this, because Naruto told them that they have it under control and that they'll be sort of monitoring Boruto, but now they can't really trust Naruto, because hey, you have this homicidal alien just kind of like chilling in the village and you guys have no answer for this. And they do have one answer, is to kill Boruto, but Naruto's not going to let that happen. No one's going to let that happen, right? So it's going to be a weird situation to where Naruto has to pick his child or the safety of the village, and I don't think that Naruto is going to be able to make that decision himself. So it's going to be a very tough one, to figure that one out. And kind of how the other villages will respond once they figure out this new information of Code attacking the village, and sort of what's going to happen after this fight. So after Naruto does sort of like a debrief, I guess at the next Kage Summit, which I think will happen after this whole arc sort of finishes, and Naruto tells him that hey, Boruto got taken over again and we need a solution. I think the 5 Kage are going to have a serious discussion about, listen, Naruto, we understand it's your son, but he has to die, and that's gonna be one of the factors to why Boruto can't really stay in the village anymore. It's going to have to sort of seek refuge elsewhere, because you can't stop this resurrection from happening, and a lot of the options involve death, and it's getting very dark for Boruto. We're getting to that point in the story to where Boruto's story is doing a 180, and we're now seeing the sort of the dark side of Boruto and where the story is possibly leading up to the time skip, honestly. So I'm very interested to see what solution Boruto really finds for this Momoshiki and his body, and kind of how he'll navigate this in the future. Is very interesting, because it's not like Kirama, where Kirama wasn't always able to take over Naruto, right? And the fact that Momoshiki can just so easily just stop time, talk to Boruto for a little bit, and then easily just switch places with him is so dangerous. Momoshiki cannot exist in the village because he's just too much of a liability right now, and Boruto is going to have to leave as soon as possible. But yeah, kind of my thoughts on the whole thing now with Momoshiki's resurrection. We've seen how easily he can just take over Boruto's body, and just how much he puts everybody in danger. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and join the Discord. And I'm out. Peace.